Hello, Anna. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. Well, tell us more about you. I've been seeing your posts in the Facebook group. I was going through them right before this call, and you've been just posting all your wins and everything that's going on. So give everyone kind of a background of who you are and kind of where you're at in your business journey.
um, I'm actually Dr. Renee Phillip, but I just
Ah,
kind of lose. Yeah, I graduated with my doctorate last summer, and but prior to that, I started off as a teacher, a high school teacher. I've been doing that for 29 years, and I I'm from the Caribbean, so it's different. But I studied. My studies were done in the United States, but my area, I'm very diverse with my skill set. So I started off as a visual arts teacher, and I love art because that's like my really deep down passion from since high school. And I started off as a visual arts teacher, but then when I went to study, I decided I wanted to do business. So I came back, and then I started teaching business as well, at a different high school. And so I go between both of them because they create that balance for me. I like to do entrepreneurial ventures. I've always liked doing that ever since I finished the community college here at home. I've been doing my own little private tutoring job. I started actually in my bedroom. It
wow.
was right after in 1995. We had Hurricane Lewis, and it took the roof from my mom's house. And I started doing private tutoring because I had just gotten out of the community college, and there was no work for us to do. The whole place was in a
Right.
wreck. We had nothing to do. And I remember one of my friends said, my sister needed tutoring in mathematics. And I like that subject too. So I started doing that. And it started out from there. And then I was doing, I helped my other friends build their tutoring center because I really didn't have the space or the financial backing to start my own. So I started doing tutoring at different centers across the country. And then in 2013, I was working at a private high school, and studying business and dealing with management. Sometimes it kind of puts you in a position where my specialty is really HR. And
Right.
I saw a few things that I wasn't pleased with, and so um, they released me of my position. So that led to an industrial relation matter, and I didn't know what else I wanted to do. And I just remember telling my dad, well, I've been tutoring for many years privately, so I think I'm just going to continue doing that. So I started my business, Business Cove Learning, and I had two kids to take care of. Everything was topsy turvy. My job was a no no. My private life was and so I have my two kids, and I did what any other mother would do. And when your back is pressed against the wall, you know what you do. You show up and you show out. So I
Right.
started. My dad said, if that's what you want to do, obstacle. And so I started thinking I'll just tutor 20 students, and then it grew from 20 within a month to 50 to 75, and it just kept going. So I've been doing that for a while. And I was concentrating on high school students, but then I also have adults, females and males who wanted, to expand their horizon. And so it started taking off. But some of the challenges that I've had here locally, it's getting information to grow your business, because although we have a entrepreneurial culture, we also have a mindset where if I help the other person over there, they're gonna come and do better than I do, and so I don't want to share any information. So I'm always surfing the internet, or trying to reach out to other persons in the region, or even internationally, because I have family members who are living abroad, and they too have, businesses, and just trying to get ideas that you could share, or how do I get this idea up and running. And my mind is always going. So when I'm lying down, because if you notice, I really don't factor in time for television. I don't factor in time for certain things. My mind is always going. Yeah, it's always in the overdrive, where I'm thinking, what's the next venture? What's the next venture? What's the next venture? And I also teach entrepreneurship. So I always have to be in that mindset where my students would come to me, share ideas, and I'll be like, okay, yeah, let's get this one going. How do we get it from start to finish, or even get it up until it's going to a point where you feel comfortable? So that's the mindset that I've always carried. I've never told myself that I cannot accomplish anything. I've always been telling myself, you can do everything. You can do everything.
Awesome.
It doesn't matter. Even I tell myself I could do it. It's scary at times, and it's very, very scary, because most of the time you're doing it alone, and then you start wondering, where am I going to get the financial backing to get this up and running? But I always learn to, start small, and little steps, little steps, little steps. They're going to contribute to the bigger picture. So I always take time. I don't rush the project. My daughter specifically would always tell me, "Mommy, you take so much big risks, and you need to calm down, and you need to do this." But I told, in the end, when she said, "Oh, I understand why you did that. I see why you did that," But I'm a go-getter. I'm always been a go-getter, and I'm yeah. I don't have fears. Guys,
You just go
it
for it.
feels scary, but yeah. But when it's scary, it's when you know that it's right.
Yes.
It's almost similar to falling in love for the first time, and it's like I feel my heart going. So I know when it feels that scary, it's time for me to make a move.
I love
So
it.
the
So you've
challenges
done a
I
lot of,
welcome.
yeah, challenges you welcome. I love it. I love that you're like talking about being uncomfortable. I love that you're sharing entrepreneurship advice with others as well. Like, and it, because you were already an entrepreneur, you have a lot of experience. So how did because I'm assuming you went through the corporate rescue plan success path. Was that like different than what you had found and searching online? Because you said you were doing a lot of searching online.
Well, I've been searching. I've been to several workshops, from Tony to Joel, and although I felt as if, well, okay, yes, though they're telling me everything I want to hear. I always tend to go with my gut feeling, and when my gut tell me this is where you feel comfortable, then I'll make a move, because it's good to hear other persons, but then it's always good to have that right fit. And not only because it's for female, but I like the fact that we get to share. And I always tell my students, there is no bad idea. There's no wrong idea. There's no bad idea. You probably did not know how to express it. So if you share with someone else, they could teach you how to, make little tweaks and, alterations, so that you could get it done the right way. And that's one of the things that I liked about class. I like that I stumbled upon your invitation to do the free course, and I said, okay, what do I have to lose? I I've heard it all, so let me, I stumbled upon it, and I remember going through it, and I I sat down and I listened to the videos and I started, and I told my daughter, I think I found something, and my daughter is enrolled in Boss Babes, and that's her fit because she likes that. But I told her I've listened to Boss Babe, but I don't think that's my fit. So we both tend to. She has her fit, I have my fit, and then we will compare and contrast. And I would say, this is what I learned here, and she would say, this is what I learned here. And I said, you know what, maybe we could, put what we learned together and see how, we both could help each other. And I took a while before I actually buy in, because again, I started questioning, do I have the financial backing? I don't want to sign up for something, and I'm not that kind of person. I don't like signing up and knowing that I'm not going to be committed. I like to be committed, and if I can't be committed, then I don't see the sense in wasting the time. And for me, it's I wanted to find my growth path, and I think I'm still growing, and I will always be growing. But I wanted to find that fit, that even though I know certain things, that at least I have a structure that I could follow. And that's one of the things with the information that I'm grasping from class. I don't get to go on every day because I have a very busy schedule where I have individuals. So I don't have specific classrooms and say that I'm going to teach a class as in a full class. What I have is individual personal contact time with my clients. So I don't call them my students, I call them my clients, because they are my clients. So I have to do a personal fit for each and every one of them. So it's not, they could come at 5 o'clock and there's a class running from 5 to 6 and they miss it. It's, I have to and sync it with their schedule as well as my schedule. So I have a very crazy schedule sometimes. So I don't get to sign into class all the time. But I know since I've started, I have really put time out to say, well, if I don't get it done in as much in the week, I know on Sundays my schedule is cleared and I'm going to sit down and I'm going to be listening to my videos and I'm going to be doing my assignments and so I adopted that. I was thankful for the exercise on the vision board because I now have it on my computer screen. So every time I turn on my computer, I see it and I'm like, that's my goal, that's my dream. Those are what I want to accomplish, within this year. And it's a good thing because I was able to share that with my students and, try to get them to these are things that you want. So I'm getting information that I could, share with them and tell them, you want to have this in your life. Even if you're not working with me later on, at least I would have, passed on something. And that's one of the things that I like about it. I'm getting information that's valuable that I could share with other person. And that's one of the things that I liked about when I read through the manifesto. I realized that there are certain things that you expressed as a part of the Classy Girl program that I found were in sync with my personal goals, because I always like to give back. I always like to share information, and I always like to make sure that I'm contributing to growth besides my own. I'm not selfish like that, and I feel comfortable knowing that when I come to class, even on the Facebook page, that I could see other person sharing, these are my wins, and how can I do this, and I get excited for them. I get excited for them because I'm like, oh, go girls, you got this, and then you have a community where persons are constantly game, and to just be everything that you feel that you are and that you could comfortably be, rather than persons telling you, why are you doing that? You don't need to do that.
And you've had a lot of wins too. Like, you tell us about, you had your beta test, right? How your beta program?
Right. I'm still doing it because I just started it a few weeks ago, but I'm happy because I was scared at first in terms of who's going to really want to sit with me and advance their revamp their whole career journey. And I took that when I was doing my assignment, and it said, at least reach out to a few persons and see if they were interested. And I reached out to 5 persons, and then they all responded positively, and I was like, yes. And
Yay.
I reached out to other persons, and even the thing is, I just reached out to females, and then I started speaking to some of the male persons, and I would love to have something like that in my, so now I'm like, okay, how do I get them in? But they too were,
Yeah.
very interested in how do I get this in, and it's
Right.
going really well because I meet with them at least once a week, and it's for even for 30 minutes to an hour. And they're all making progress, and they're really excited. They
Love that.
really want to try something different. They're really passionate about what they want to do because they find themselves accepting a career that they settled for, as opposed to
Right.
doing something that they were really passionate about. So that is going
Yeah, I love that.
really, really well.
Yay.
I actually have meetings this afternoon when I get off of this call. So
Awesome. I love that.
I am really excited for that. Yeah.
Well,
I'm really excited.
we're so proud of
They
you.
I'm helping them.
I was just
Thank
saying
you.
we're so proud of you
Thank
and
you.
like all of your updates. And where can people find out more about you online?
Well, I haven't built my website as yet. I was in the process of doing that prior to the COVID. And based on what transpired with that pandemic, I had to scale my business down because of all of the protocols and everything. I had to scale. At one point, I was actually going to close the business, but I had, some real dedicated clients who told me, we'll work with you. We will. And so I am in the process of doing that. I actually bought my domain. So I
Yay.
am hoping that before, even by summer, that I will have a website up. But I'm on Facebook. They could DM me. I'm also on Instagram. Um, I am not so sassy with all of the social media because I had pretty much locked myself off to finish my doctoral program. And that is a really rigid program. So I had to lock myself off of social media for a while. So I'm kind of getting back into the swing of things. But I'm on
Awesome.
Facebook, and I'm also on Instagram. They could send me messages. Uh, I could share my email if they want. But
You have a fan club in the comments already. You go, girl, Michaela said. I love it. Awesome. Well, it was so fun to connect with you in person, Dr. Renee. Thank you so much for joining me here today, and we'll see you inside the class Facebook group.
Thank you, Anna. Have a wonderful day.
Bye. You